Hey guys, I'm back. I'm going to finish reading the letter. I had to go because church was about to start and I just didn't want to miss a moment today. What a phenomenal time of worship and memories. It was just phenomenal. Anyway, I'm going to finish reading the letter. If you missed the first part of me reading my letter to Pastor Stephen, go back and watch the first part of this that is just called Memories. I'm going to start from here. I was really hurt by a friend when I was 10 years old. Just this year, until just this year, I carried that hurt around with me until I had to say, Rachel, you are a grown woman. And you can't let that situation hurt you anymore. The only the only power that people have over you is the power you give them. So just keep on walking, keep on preaching, keep on being the father and husband and person you are, and you will be all right. If God has given you a word for his church and community, speak speak it with boldness because he's got your back. I've I've noticed your preaching has changed. It used to be a lot more note driven, and now it's less note and more you just giving the scripture and talking. Usually by now you you are into your fifth or sixth series and it's methodical and very linear. However, this year God is doing something totally different. You have only done, I think, a couple of series, Flip the Flow and maybe God. The Lord said, don't get freaked out over the different ways He's having you preach. I know for me, when the Lord instructed me to preach once a week, like an actual pastor does, instead of just whenever, I was scared. I didn't know if I would actually have what it takes to pull it off, to to pull to pull out a no, to pull out a sermon once a week. I have never worked in ministry. I went to Bible college, but that was years ago, and I never actually worked in oh, I never actually worked in formal ministry. I went to Bible college, but that was years ago, and I was totally scared that I wouldn't be able to pour as much of myself out to people and give them something that they can use in their lives. But lo and behold, I've been doing the once a week. I've been doing the once a week. I've been doing I've been doing once a week for the past few months. And it seems just when I need a word, it comes. Sometimes the work of preaching, whether someone is doing it in front of millions every week across 18 campuses, or a booming online community around the world, in the case of yourself, or in a computer room using a webcam for barely 10 people every week. The call is the same: to reach people with the love and hope that only Jesus Christ can bring. If you're doing that in your own unique way, that's all you have to worry about. The Lord said something when I was complaining about being scared and not complaining about being scared and not having what I need to do the work of the ministry. He said, "Your disorder is my order." The Bible says that things must be done in decency and in order, but the order must be done in decency and in order. But the order, but the order, but the question is, whose order? Some Sometimes what looks like disorder for us is actually God's order. Uh, about 4 in the morning, I was thinking about the task He set before me, and I wa- I was thinking about a meeting I have coming up, a- along with everything I have to do to get this tremendous vision off the ground. And God told me two things. First thing is it's His vision to bring to pass. The second thing is it's not it's none of my business how He does it. I tend to want to know where I'm going and how I'm going to get there and what's it going to look like when I get to where I'm going. I don't like being unprepared. It makes me feel inadequate and want to give up and quit. But this morning at about 4 a.m., I got the impression that the Lord was saying the tide is different this time around. Are you going to stick to what your traditions to what your traditions are you going to stick to what your traditions are you going to stick to your to okay, are you going to stick to your traditions or worry about what people are going to say, or are you going to go with it and jump in and swim? It's easy to coast when we get to a certain level of where we think God's taking us, no matter who we are. But He's saying the tide is changing. And the tide is, but he's saying the tide is changing. Know that I will not leave you to drown. God bless. I'll be praying for you. Big, big hugs with God's love, Rachel. Oh my God, to read that letter, to read those words, it's phenomenal. I was like, um, this was 2019, so I was barely 35 when I wrote those words, and I'm just, I'm just like floored about the wisdom that God was bringing about. Like it was, it's just insane. And what I said in that letter was so true. If you want to find out the first part of the letter, memories. And I wasn't going to read the whole thing, but oh, I think I'm going to read at least the next part of the letter. I won't read the third part because what happened when that's the end of the first part I just read to you. But what happened, I was so scared and so nervous that I didn't end up sending the letter for about another month. So there are three parts. So I just read you the first part, and I think I'm going to just continue reading. So this is the second part of the letter. Okay. So it says 2 weeks later, dot, dot, dot. P.S. P.S. You are not going to believe this, Pastor Stephen, but 2 weeks have gone by since I started this letter. It is now the 25th of August, 2019. I just heard your message called The Mystery of Potential. It's been such a mental battle for me whether to send this to you or not. In fact, I said to God, why me? He knows every preacher around. He's preached at all the churches that I can only imagine preaching at. Not to mention, he's the pastor of one of the most influential churches in the world. Why would he need this from me? I'm a 35-year-old black girl with a disability who has who has heard of who no one has heard of, who does weekly videos for less than 10 people. Oh, who does weekly videos that less than 10 people watch. You know you know what you know what God said to me? Just cause. Just cause. So sometimes you just have to do things because he said to do. He said to do. He said to do it. So I'm doing it. Take care and big hugs for the second time. This is the third part. Yet still, 1 week later. Okay, this is now my third PS. It is now September 1st, 2019. I just finished watching Jonathan Joseph's sermon, the the missing blessing. You you have some wonderful campus pastors at Elevation Church. I would assume it makes things easier when you know you have staff that you can depend on. You can depend on. I believe what makes a church run is off is not the people we see on stage, although those people are important, but it is often the people that we don't see, like the maintenance department, the greeters at the door, the parking lot attendants, and so on and so forth, that make the church really run well. These departments are some of the ones that have to deal with that have to deal with the problems that the rest of us don't see. The financial team as well, the financial team as well as the church administration teams are often overlooked in churches. It's no wonder why Paul says every part of the body has value. I don't know why I'm going down this road, but I just wanted to tell you that this long, long letter is going in the mail on Thursday. Big hugs times 3. Wow, just to look at that, just to look at that letter was written, guys, in 2019. And just to look at how far God has taken me, and just to look at the encouragement and the advice that God spoke through me in 2019, and to look at it now, the fact that I'm still uh, doing this, I'm still doing it every week. I didn't have the ministry that I assumed I would have, but looking at it now, as I look at this letter, you know, I started in 2019 doing what I am now, not with the preaching. I started that in like um 2011. But with the encouragement and the pastoral leadership and all of that stuff and the advice and the observations about ministry, and it just that all started in 2019, and now i'm I'm putting out elevation specific videos about segments and um uh like ideas about um worship Bible studies and all that, and to know it started here. So look what the Lord has done. And I'm just so grateful. I can't wait to see what the Lord will do. It's just so amazing and awesome. And thank you, Pastor Stephen, for um actually I'm going to cry again, but thank you for actually seeing me and watching my videos and seeing the value of what I have to contribute. I wish I could totally give you a hug because I've never had that before. Grown up in church all my life, and I've just been like passed over, and just reading this letter and just seeing that this is where it started. It didn't start online like what 2 years ago or 3 years ago. It started uh like five like um it started 7 years ago. That's where it started. Like, because when I look at the advice, when I look at the encouragement, like that started here, and God started it, and God is continuing it. But now I don't send letters, I just upload a video. But so thank you for seeing the value in those around you, and I'm sure the pastoral staff and all the campus pastors and all the assistant pastors and whatever will tell you. Thank you for seeing the gifting in me. Like, it's just so rad. I love you so much, and Holly. And yes, one day we will preach together. Uh, and it will be so awesome. I can't wait to meet you. Oh my God, this is so exciting. It's great to look back, and I love you so much. And a- as God builds a house, He will just keep building it, and it will have its peaks and valleys. But the Lord will get His ultimate glory out of it. And even the prophetic thing that uh, God had me working in this letter, He's doing that to a greater level now. I'm so grateful. He just he didn't progress in the way I thought, but he progressed in the way that he saw fit, and I'm so grateful. But bye, loves. I'll see you soon. Take care. And if you didn't read part one, go back and read part one. I'll see you soon. Bye.